Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Syamsul Amri bin Abdul Latif and fellow friends. So today we'll be presenting online project presentation. Before that, we will introduce ourselves first. My name is Muhammad Illyas bin Badarul Ihsan. My matric number is 1915707.
And my name is Adelia binti Tsai. My matric number is 11170N2.
And my name is Aina Najihah binti Azhar. My matric number 1913206.
And my name is Noor Hafizah binti Deli, Illyas Dalri, and my meeting number is 1917616.
My name is Noor Nathalia binti Mama Iqbal, and my matric number is 191100.
So we will present 5 chapters, which is payment system and working hours, recruitment and selection process, benefits and rewards, training and development, and international staffing. So we will take Perodua and Toyota company as comparison in this discussion. So I will pass to the presenter.
Okay, so I will explain briefly about the recruitment and selection process of both company. So the recruitment and selection is vital in a company, whereby selecting wrong individual will create many operational problems. So there are 4 recruitment methods. So both company are using the same recruitment methods. So for the first one is attract internal applicant. So for the first point is promotions and transfer. Promotion is lower level to higher level position. So transfer is a lateral movement within the same grade. So the second point is job posting. Job posting is when the company publish the vacancy using the bulletin boards and the electronic method. So the third point is employee referrals. So this one is something like recommendation from the current employee to new employee regarding a job application. So the second point, the second recruitment methods is attract external applicant. So there are 2, which is career exhibition and campus recruitment exercise. So this one is the recruiters visit an institution to absorb the student as their trainee into their company. So the third one is unsolicited applicants. It is something like walk-in application, which means by a job seeker apply unsolicited applications in a company at various times. This kind of application will be kept in a data bank until there are suitable vacancy available. So the last one is advertisement. So the job advertisement will be published in mass media, which is television and radio. And the second one is newspaper. So move on to the next slide, which is the selection process. There are the 2 companies using the different selection process. So for Toyota is the first stage, which is personality test, and they will move on to interview by phone. And after that, they will move on to selection test, which is they will test the candidate intelligence, personality, and achievement, especially their educational background. And then they will move on to selection interview. And the last one, the candidate it is compulsory for them to make a medical test. And for Perodua, the candidate need to uploading their application and resume. And then when they are selected to be shortlisted, they will be interviewed by phone. And then if the company keen to gain more information from the candidate, there will be face-to-face interview. So that's all from me. Move on to the next presenter. Thank you.
I will continue and explain more about payment system and working hours. For Malaysia, the wage and payment system first, which to be paid through bank because it's more easier for the employer to give a salary through bank. And the next one is payment of wage other than through bank, which is by check. Restriction on place at which wage may be paid. There's no employer paying the salary at everywhere because this is related to law and ethical. And the next is interest on advance forbidden. All the extra charge or any type of extra income, example your overtime works, basically, and it should not more than your basic salary. So for Japan, there have monthly wage, which is there are two types of salary, which is according to your age and seniority base, at workers' age and length of service. So for bonus, typically paid twice a year in June and December. So welfare divided by two, legal welfare and non-legal welfare. Legal welfare, including your health insurance, and non-legal welfare, including your medical insurance. Moving on to the legislation, or the legislation relating to payment of wage and working hours. So first of all, is minimum wage and regular pay for Malaysia and Japan. There are working hours, breaks, day off, agreements on overtime, and work on days off, overtime payment. So working hours, breaks, days off. Basically, some business are not exceed 40 hours per week and 8 hours per days, excluding breaks. So agreements on overtime and works on days off. For examples, if your employee force your worker to do an overtime works without any submitting of agreement, so that the management will get penalty. So overtime payment, example, work late at night, for example between 10 p.m. and 5 p.m., the rate of increase your will be 25%. Moving on to the last point, which is choosing the working hour system. So for Malaysia, the most employee in Malaysia works for 6 days a week, so they are required to work only 8 hours a day maximum. And for Japan, there are two types, which is basic limit rules and extended limit rules. So basic limit rules says that overtime hours cannot exceed 45 hours per month or 360 hours per year. So for extended limit rules, cannot exceed 100 hours per month and 720 hours per year. Moving on to the next presenter.
Okay, next I will explain about the benefits and reward for both company, which are Toyota in Japan and Perodua in Malaysia. Next slide, please. In this chapter, we will know more about the benefit and reward that employer should offer to the employees. So first, I will explain about the benefit for Toyota in Japan. The benefit is, the first one is the bonus. The company also agree with the union to introduce the flexible incentive component to monthly pay to strengthen the workplace culture. Workers who show strong individual effort measure on such criteria as willingness, cooperativeness, a sense of responsibility, and observing rules will receive as much as an additional 15,000 yen. For those who perform lower than expectation could see the incentive trimmed by as much as 10,000 yen. Second one is retirement benefits. Toyota is giving post-retirement rehire the same treatment as in the pre-retirement days through age 65. About 60% of Toyota workers will be covered by the measure, which is aimed at boosting the re-employment ratio among retirees, which currently stand at around 70%. The next one is family allowance. To treat young workers better, the company has also reviewed family allowance. It will abolish spousal allowance to introduce a single child allowance system, paying 2,000 yen per child without setting a maximum. Okay, for the reward is Toyota implement a reward system consisting of three aspects, which is the first one is seniority-based system. There are no job classification for this seniority-based system. This should be given to those who have worked for a long time in the company, like 10 years, 25 years, or until their retirement. The second one is a huge portion of bonus payment. Based on production bonus is based on a group level in Toyota wage method. Production bonuses compose partly a worker monthly salary. Thus, this bonus measure on evaluation the employee's performance. Okay, next I will explain about the benefits and reward of Perodua company in Malaysia. The benefit is reward. The benefit is bonus. Bonus will be paid twice a year. The next one is allowance. Allowance is for its non-executive staff by 10% to help cope with the higher cost of living and to recognize their contribution to the company. And the last one is insurance. Insurance is life or accident group policy. The insurance is really important if the employee is involved in any accident. Usually, insurance is not extended to family, may be paid by both parties or subsidized. Okay, for the rewards is the first one is vacation packages. These vacation packages will be given for best worker in the company based on their performance. The next one is Perodua car as a reward for the best worker annually. And last but not least is a good performance worker. Good performance workers will be get gadget as their consolation. I think that's all for my chapter. Okay, moving on to the next presenter.
Thank you, Hafizah. So I will be explaining about training and development chapter. As for training and development chapter, there are a few main components that need to be taken into account. The first one is training methods, 8 steps in conducting training, level of analysis, factors to consider before conducting a training program. As for training methods actually varies depending on a company. So there are a lot. There's a lot of types of training method, and one of it could be lecture, role play, job rotation, discussion, or simulation case studies. The list goes on. And as for X steps in conducting training, the first step is assessing the training needs, preparing the training plan. The second step, step 3, specifying the training objectives. Step 4, designing the training program. Step 5, selecting the instruction methods. Step 6, completing the training plan, conducting the training plan. Step 7, and the last step, step 8, is evaluating the training. And as for the level of analysis, we have 6 level. The first one is national or governmental level, industry level, company level, team level, unit level, and individual level. And the last one is the factors that need to be considered before conducting a program. Is the first one the training method, like what are the type of training that the company wanted to conduct, the cost, the budget, participants, the participation, will it be exposed like better, with the employee accept it willingly, or and the purpose of the training also. And moving on to the next slide. So here I put on 2 types of company that we discussed earlier, which is Perodua from Malaysia and Toyota from Japan. As for Perodua, they are more into automotive technical skills, which is Perodua Technical Education System, PTES, CJ Kemaran Malaysia SKM training and technical training, in-house certification program, and corporate training. So Perodua Learning and Development provides learning and development opportunities to all employees. So it is to ensure employees are ready to face the automotive industry challenges by motivating and developing employees to become competent and qualified professionals. So the scope of programs include both corporate and technical trainings, focusing on basic core and functional competency. So these programs are carefully tailored to suit employees at all levels. As for Toyota, they provide T10 program on the job development or JD, technical training programs for Toyota personnel around the globe. So as for Toyota, it has launched its first full-fledged technological education and training program in the 60s. So in order to enhance the skill of its distributor seniors, mechanics, and foreman level personnel. So the participant will learn about the structure, operation, disassembly or inspection, assembly and servicing of all the varied parts and components of Toyota automobiles, from engines, to drivetrains and steering systems, suspension and electrical systems. So in essence, the training development for Perodua and Toyota shares a similarity in enhancing the technical skills for both employees. So moving on to the next chapter.
Thank you, Nathalia. So I will present about the international staffing. So the international staffing is the expatriate, which is a person who leave his country to work and live in a foreign country. So there are 3 points, which is to fill up positions, to maintain control, and adopting a geocentric approach. So the first one is to fill up position. The position is like the CEO, the manager, the supervisor, staff, or trainee. So to fill up the position, it is because the locals are not talented enough. So they have to import the more talented staff from the outside of the country. Next is the too much effort to train the locals. So instead of train, they import the staff. And the last one is not enough resources or time. That's all for the to fill up positions. Next one is to maintain control, which is the PCNs know the organizational rules and culture better. It's like when you import someone from the outside of the country, they know better about the environment working or the environmental that he used to be So the occasionally this one is used. So the next one is adopting a geocentric approach, which is they are less ethnocentric and global image. There are acculturation, socialization, interaction among international executive and managers. So to compare between Malaysia and Japan, so Malaysia, which is Perodua, has the policy of not employing foreigner, but accept Japan. So they are employing Japanese who were recruited as engineer or business partner capability because they are corporates to Daihatsu Motor Company of Japan. For Japan, which is Toyota, the they implement the cross-culture management, including the global integration and international leadership. They use the cross-cultural operation and the global network management. And they are also target of the expatriate PCN, TCN, and HSTs. So that's all from us. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.